go ahead and rock this out. So I apologize. I actually had this all queued up and ready to go. Unfortunately, I had to reboot my computer because of WebEx. So we are just getting everything back up and running. So with that said, today's class, again, like Julie had mentioned, is on Instagram. And what we're going to do today is we're going to focus on a lot of the common questions that people have, and how to get the most out of Instagram. What are you really looking for, so on and so forth. Because I really think that this is going to bring to light how easy it is to use these programs, and really what they can do for a business. So there we go. All right, all up and running. So a couple of things that I want to bring up here. A lot of the times, most business owners that I meet with are overthinking social media. They have a perception that they have to be on it all the time. They have to be engaging all the time. It's just that it's that sense of, you just got to be there. You just got to do this. And then it ends up occupying a ton of your time. It ends up doing, really more damage to you as a business owner than good. And so the things that I would suggest is really what business owners need to do is, first tip is, you need to pace yourself. It's all about consistency with social media, consistency and engagement. So with most business owners, you might find some of them that are posting multiple times a day, and then all of a sudden they fall off the face of the planet. Then all of a sudden they're back to posting all the time because somebody probably mentioned to them they haven't seen something, or they got an alert from Instagram, something like that. Then all of a sudden they're back to posting all the time. And really, that's not going to create engagement. That's not going to create a following, if you will. And so what we really want to focus on as business owners is consistency with the platform. So an example being, there's a variety of social media platforms out there: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, you name it. I mean, there's tons of them out there. Really what we need to do is identify the target demographic and what we're looking to do. And then we need to appeal to that demographic. That's really the whole premise behind social media. So when we look at Instagram, first question I always ask clients is this: what do you think the target demographic of Instagram really is? Who are you really looking to reach here? And the answer is usually not what I expect. People have a very jaded perception of what each platform does. So again, talking specific about Instagram today, really think logically. It's common sense. Who is on Instagram? I mean, do we have, the 65 plus crowd on there? Are they more of the younger demographic? The answer to that is actually the younger demographic. You have a lot of kids on there. You have a lot of people, middle age. I mean, we'll give it, I would say a target demographic for Instagram is anywhere from really 18 to about 45. That's kind of the nice little sweet spot. And as we get closer to that 45, obviously it does kind of slim down a little bit, but really that mid 20s to mid 30s is really a strong core market for Instagram. Now, with that said, what are people looking for on Instagram? That's really the perfect question to ask, because what should you be posting? How should you be posting? Is it content based? Is it a blend between images and content? The answer is it's images. Dynamic imagery is what really sells Instagram and what people are captivated by. So the thing that I stress to business owners, and I understand, like from a marketing perspective, there's really not a lot of great, pictures that we can do. So if you look at our Instagram page, it's filled with a blend of content and imagery that we can use. But again, it's not what most business owners, what I would suggest. Again, some industries are limited and you're forced to use stock photography. You're forced to use, repetitive imagery to, captivate an audience. But really, it's when you get fancy, like, we're looking at Local Savvy AZ right here. This is on the Pinnacle Peak hiking trail. A great picture of the Arizona mountains, a little hazy out there, but it's Arizona. What can you say? As we go down here, you can see there is DeSilla Center. That's a domestic violence awareness shelter or awareness organization in the Southwest Valley. That's a really great little graphic that they do here, but again, some text in there. So how you utilize Instagram is really going to be obviously dominant on imagery, but the real focus is you have to understand your clients. You have to understand what they're going to be looking for. If I'm targeting, an 18 to 24-year-old, depending on what I'm selling, let's just assume it's a retail item, we're going to want to have direct pictures of those items. We're going to want to really focus on that imagery there. We're going to stray away from stuff like this where there's text involved, or maybe we have limited text on the photos. So again, every industry is different. So if you do have a specific question on your business and what would be a great kind of drive, we'd be happy to help you with that. The other thing that I suggest in terms of content for clients is diversity. Now, just if you attended the Facebook class last week, we talked a lot about diversity. We talked a lot about, how that 60-40 split should look, or 70-30, just depends again on your business. But Instagram's the same way. What we're looking to do is captivate an audience. What we're not doing is the me stuff. An example would be if I had a business in, let's just say the heart of Surprise. There's tons of great images that we can do downtown. There's tons of great images throughout the valley that we can do. It doesn't all have to be about your business. The other thing too is sharing other people's posts. Again, just creating that diversity. That's really what's going to keep people engaged in your post, liking your post. Now, an example is, and we'll pick on Drusilla here for a minute. This is an easy one to do. If you saw this post multiple times throughout the week or something very, very similar to that, what's really the likeliness that you're going to engage with it? You might engage with it once, but the second, third, fourth time, probably not so much. So we want diversity in our posts. We really want to see that, what do you have to offer? What's the community have to offer? We call it humanizing the brand. And there's tons of awesome stuff that you guys can do to do that. Pictures of your staff, pictures of you guys, the owners, just having fun. It's an energy that people are attracted to. Beauty, imagery, anything like that will really, really go off well. Now, we've talked so far about kind of what the platform is, maybe some content posting ideas, but for some businesses out there, they don't even know where to start on Instagram. So we're going to clarify a few things here real quick. So we're going to take a little bit of a step back. If you've never created an Instagram page before, it's super easy. Now, I will tell you this. We're looking at it on a desktop here. I can tell you it's much easier to do on a phone. It's really geared towards a mobile device. So food for thought, I'm going to suggest you do it there. But if you decide to do it on the desktop, again, just understand it's a little bit more challenging here than it is on the phone. Now, with that said, with Instagram, you have to have a business page, or excuse me, a personal page, and then you can also set up a business page here. And real simple, when you're creating that page, there's a few simple steps. And in fact, probably be easier versus illustrating it here. I'll send those out to Julie afterwards so she can distribute them as a part of this presentation. Because again, there's several steps that you need to go through. The first step that I always recommend is you should always have a Facebook page because these two programs really go hand in hand. In terms of diversity, in terms of, connecting with a broader audience, this is really going to be kind of the way to do it. And obviously Facebook owns Instagram, so they make this connection piece really, really simple. So if you have a Facebook page, and let's just assume you've already created that Instagram page, it's real simple to connect them. You just come up here to your business page, you click on settings, and you're going to come down on the left-hand side here. You're going to see a bar, and here's Instagram. And then you're going to connect your Instagram page. So again, all this information should come through. The reason why I'm saying to do this is because we manage most everything on desktop. It can be kind of difficult sometimes to do on the phone, depending on what you're looking to accomplish. But again, because of imagery, it's great for the camera. It's great for all that stuff. But in terms of analytics, which is what us as marketers really want to understand, this connection right here with Facebook is invaluable. And the reason being is it enables us to utilize what's called Facebook Creator or Creator Studio. And what that's going to do is that allows us to access Instagram's analytics on a desktop device. Now, if you're savvy with your phone, you want to use your phone, you can actually easy to access your analytics on that. But for us, again, we use desktop a lot. We're looking to really, kind of gather more information here. And so this is where we go to. And you can see here, Curator Studio, super simple. If you have a Facebook page, you can this is automatic. You just Google search it, it'll come up for you. And in Curator Studio, again, same thing. You have a lot of that same information. It talks about your posts, comments, likes, all this stuff. And really the benefit, insights. This is what we really use this system for. Now, this is showing the last 7 days. You can obviously change and update however you want. We try to look at a larger, span of time. So like 30 days is usually the best. But when you look at this, you can see actions taken on the account, so on and so forth. My favorite, though, because this is probably one of the most common questions is, when do I post? That's always, what everybody wants to know. If you're looking at your audience here, this is going to show you, hey, here's where everybody's at. This is the demographics that you support. And it says, when are your followers on Instagram? So if it's a specific day, which you can see for us, it's fairly consistent with who's on our Instagram page. But this is the bread and butter right here. This is what I like to look at. This heat map, more or less, is really what shows us, okay, for me, the best time really are these darker squares here. So we want to look at 4 o'clock on maybe a Sunday. You can see if I'm posting, you know, really 7 to, what is that, noonish, probably not going to get that much engagement. Really the best times are in the evening hours, which makes sense. I mean, if we use common sense, that's typically when most people are on social media. That's when most people are engaging towards the end of the day, maybe before dinner, after dinner, clearly all the way up until about 10 o'clock at night, you know, give or take. You got some early birds now. I'm up real early, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, you can see there's some engagement there. But for the most part, you know, this is kind of eye-opening for most businesses when they look at this and they say, oh, wow, you know, here I've been posting at 10 o'clock every day and I'm not getting any engagement. Well, that might be why. So let's circle back here real quick to the profile. So we talked a little bit about setting it up. Again, I'll send out more detailed instructions on that. The one thing that I want to stress is completeness of the profile. That's one that oftentimes we're really missing. A lot of people will set up their business page. They might have, you know, a logo on there. You know, we want to make sure that things are consistent. Again, you're going to hear me say that over and over and over again. If we look at the Facebook page versus the Instagram page versus the website, we really, really, really want to see consistency. Again, you only get one shot to make a good first impression. So when we look at the stuff, you know, again, my page may not be everybody's flavor. You know, you may want more animation, you may want video here, so on and so forth, and that's fantastic. If you have the ability to do that, great. I prefer static from me as a business owner, but again, if you prefer something a little more engaging, that might be an option for you. But the same thing on Instagram. What you want is consistency. Now, if we were to look at the public page, you'd obviously see a different banner here, but when we look at this, 368 posts, 228 followers. We're following 1,100 people roughly. You can see your business description, website, you know, business name. If we look at, and again, I'm going to click on edit profile. This is where you're going to do all this stuff. Is make sure as much of this is filled out as possible. So again, short of gender, you know, it's a business. We're not a gender. So, but again, email address, contact information, you name it. Make sure as you can fill out. Make sure you have filled out, as much as humanly possible here. You can always go into settings, again, name tag, you know, there's a variety of information available here, but really this is what we're looking at. And just to illustrate on the content piece for us, if you look at our posts, you know, you'll see diversity in this. You know, this month, a portion of our proceeds are going to Chance Shelter. So we're posting, you know, helping build some awareness about those guys for the month. So you'll see some periodic posts on that. Guacamole Day, I love that day, favorite day of the year. Talk Like a Pirate Day. So again, we try to diversify within our scope. And then you'll see our text posts, you know, some of our business posts that are in there. But again, if we look at, you know, that's 3 posts out of what, 9? And so we're really trying to hit that 70, 30, 60, 40 rule. So you'll see some consistency from us in that. But again, have fun with this. This is really kind of what we're trying to get businesses more involved with. So many businesses think of this as work, and, you know, to a degree, we understand it is, but you know, the more fun you have, the more it's going to show in your posts, the more people are going to be attracted to that positive energy. So have some fun with your posts. Find some nonprofit organizations that you can kind of help, you know, build some awareness on by posting or by creating these associations between you and another organization. That by virtue is going to help attract some of their followers over to you. So that's a great opportunity for you to really expand your reach and create some additional traction to your own page. And then again, you know, talk about yourself every now and then. Again, about 30 to 40% of the time, you're going to want to post things about you. So we do like marketing tips. We do our events, you know, an occasional promotion for a product or service. But, you know, we're really looking at quotes and different things to create that engagement. For your business, everybody's different. So yours might look a little bit different from ours. But, you know, what you're trying to do is just create that hook that draws somebody in to say, oh, man, I want to look at this photo a little bit more. A couple of the tips that we'll give you here on content posting here is when you're doing this, again, today is Four-Legged Best Friends Day, so that was awesome. Hug your hound. It should have been a picture of a dachshund, so I'm going to have to talk to my wife about that. But she does all of our social media posts. She's pretty much a rock star. But the other thing that I want to point out too is hashtags. A lot of the times people have questions about, oh, what should I use? How should I use it? How many should I do? It's kind of funny when you go to some people's Instagram feeds and you'll see just a laundry list. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hashtags. There's a rhyme and reason for that. I don't know. I can't really speak to how effective it is. We're very strategic in what we do. There are some things that, we'll post a couple of hashtags on. There's some that will have 10 or 12. It really just depends on what we're focusing on. So like an example, if I was doing a post on, let's say, Instagram today, one of my hashtags might be Instagram or Instagram for small business or hashtag learn social media. For the TechCelerator, because these are part of the TechCelerator's learning program, we might do hashtag AZTC or AZ TechCelerator. Like I said, there's a variety of things, but hashtags, to help people understand, if you don't know, those are just ways people search. So when you come up here to the search bar and you want to see hashtag, let's just do marketing. You can see how many posts are relative to that. And if you click on it, you're going to see the top post that Instagram recommends. And so this is the way a lot of people will actually go through and they'll, search for things on Instagram. So if we do, I don't know, we were looking up going to Rocky Point the other day. So I'll just type in Rocky Point or Rocky Point, Mexico. Again, you're going to, by doing these, you'll start to find, all the different posts associated with them. So when you look at this, these are the recent Instagram posts from Rocky Point or people that have used that tag for Rocky Point. So, think about your business and think about what's most applicable to you. What I strongly encourage businesses not to do, don't just throw hashtags out there to throw them out there. They consider those spam, and believe it or not, there are actually penalties associated with that. So try to be specific. We want to say, for us, marketing, great, a great hashtag, but be as specific as you can on what you're trying to accomplish or the audience you're trying to reach with that. Let's see here. And then last but not least, the other thing that we wanted to do by connecting the Instagram page, so again, Facebook bounces back and forth with this. A lot of people want to say, well, I want to post, cross post between my Instagram and that. You can set those things up. It used to be where you had to post on Instagram and then it would automatically go to Facebook. Now they have an option to, again, Facebook goes to Instagram. So you're going to have to play around that, but the foundation of that is you have to connect your pages there. So, and then if you need more help or you want to know more about that, just give us a call. Like I said, we'll walk you through it, but this is going to be the start, is that you need to connect your Instagram page to Facebook in order to make that connection there. And I'm sorry, actually one more thing. We talked about this last week as well. Again, I am not paid by Canva by any means to do this, but I will just tell you, this is a phenomenal system here. Canva is what we use to create a lot of our posts. And why do we do that? Well, because they make it super easy. There's a variety of other programs out there, both paid and free, that you can use. Sometimes they come with watermarks or, things on them to cross-brand their own product with yours. But for us, Canva does the job. Canva doesn't have that stuff. So an example is if I wanted to post on Instagram, here's Instagram posts, reels, stories. There's tons of designs in here. And so this is where, for clients who really struggle with that creativity, they struggle with, all right, well, what do I post here? How do I do this? Or how do I do that? This, again, don't copy these, of course, but you can come in here, you can actually create, use this and apply it to you, change some of this stuff. Great designs. There's some that come with photos. Some of those photos are free. Some of them are not. So again, you'll have to kind of play around with it. But Instagram, Canva is a great way to create that, dynamic visual. If you want to add a little text in there, stuff like that, this is where you're going to do it. Otherwise, if you're simply on your phone, a great way, in the moment photos is what we try to reference them as, but having those great in the moment photos where your staff's having fun or whatever the case may be, you guys are hard at work, you're doing a great job, whatever the case. Like I said, those are great in the moment photos, and for the planned ones, you also have these. So that should hopefully help give you a little bit of diversity in terms of what's available for you. Let's see here. Julie, I'm going to open this up, to some questions. I know it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information quick. So if anybody has any.
Great. What I'm going to do is I am going to unmute everybody. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to ask. Or if you don't want to talk, you can put it in the chat as well. I have a question. I'll just start. So I don't use Instagram as a business, or which I probably should, but I love looking at Instagram. I love, the stories and the backgrounds. And, a lot of times I honestly didn't know that. I always thought, oh, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, those are the ways to get, things out for business. It wasn't until last year that I really realized what a great marketing tool Instagram was. And so I guess that was more of a statement, but my question would be, so would Instagram be better for say a product versus a service?
Actually that is a good question. So I can tell you this. So Instagram or any of the social platforms, it's what people get oftentimes confused is that they feel like they have to sell a service. And really, that's not what we're going for here. Social media is all about just creating that engagement, or really creating that, keeping the brand top of mind. Think about it like this. If you throw a billboard up on I-17 or the 101 or 303, what you're really doing is just trying to keep your business top of mind to the people that are commuting down the road. Social media is the same way. It's just much cheaper, much more efficient to do that. So, and by us posting, the charity of the month, or some of these photos, trying to increase the engagement, our business in front of people more often, so that the opportunity to refer us out comes up. I want people. I have a marketing company out there. I remember No Boundaries Marketing. They posted something really cool on Instagram.
Well, that makes sense. So, yeah, like I said, I had no idea Instagram was really used that much. I'm noticing it more and more as I'm just scrolling through the people I follow or my followers, which I don't really post anything, but there's a lot that get on there somehow gotten on their marketing list. And I haven't taken them off because some of them are actually, they're cute pictures or there's something that's going on, which is kind of nice. So,
the more you engage with those pictures, the more often you'll see those things from those people. And so that's how the algorithm works. Amongst many things, but that's one of the bases behind social media's algorithms, is all based on engagement. And so again, the more that's kind of your incentive to create more creative things is, the more creative, the more engagement, the more likely somebody is to see your stuff. And then again, the more likely they are statistically to get it. So simple concept. I just think people really overcomplicate it. It's funny because I met with a client today and they had a Instagram marketing person contact them, and they went through this really, really complicated, strategy where, they have set times that they have to post, and, set content, this and that, and it really took the fun out of everything. There's no fun in that when it works. It's still fun. And the other thing too, is big realistic as to what they were asking for, and they overcomplicated it. It's really what it came down to. Simplicity, fun, people, I always say puppies and babies sell everything. So puppies and babies, anything just to create that engagement. It's as simple or as complicated as a business wants to be. I prefer simple.
All right. Well, does anyone have any other questions? I did turn the mute back on, but you're welcome to put something in chat. if you do. And again, Chris will, I don't know if you have more to go
No,
on the presentation.
The only thing I would really cover next is just Instagram TV. You know, and those, again, those are really, really simple. Do not overcome. If you've ever done a Facebook Live, you've ever done a video, these are really, really great tools. Now, we don't do them as a part of our organization just based on time management and a variety of other things. But for your business, this might be a great thing to do. For us, for the education piece, you know, Instagram's just not that platform where people go to for education on marketing. So again, that's why we don't do it. But for your business, if you're doing a product demo, if you're doing something, you're featuring a new, let's just say your retail shop, you've got a new line of clothing in. These are great opportunities for that. If you have reps from other companies that, you know, let's say you're reselling products, you can get, for a restaurant, you might get the, I don't know, trying to think of something. You might get a liquor distributor out there that, you know, offers a promotion. There's so many options that you can go through, but Instagram TV is a great one for that. IGTV is what it is now, but again, create a video, upload it here. You also have live, Instagram Live. So utilize video if that's something applicable to your business. But I always tell clients, if you're new to Instagram, you're just kind of getting started, let's stick with the basics. Let's start with posting. You know, be consistent for 90 days on your posts, and then let's talk about maybe adding a video in or doing something fancy. But, you know, for the time being, most clients, they struggle with just getting consistency with posts. So again, keep it simple. Start here. And then if you got a lot of time, maybe you have a staff member that can do this. Instagram TV is awesome. Just be very purposeful on that one. Feature products, services. You know, I have one client that they do a little motivational Monday every week, and they have a really good following with that. So you can have fun with videos. But again, it's all about knowing your followers and knowing who you're trying to tackle.
So we have two questions. The first one was, do you have any and they're both kind of the same. The first one is, do you have any suggestions on how to gain Instagram followers? And the second question is, how do you get more people to see your posts? So they're kind of the same question.
Yep. So followers is all about connecting with people. You have to make that connection. Do yourself a favor. Do not buy followers. That does nothing for you. I mean, you have to think about, why are we doing what we do? Why are you posting Instagram? And it's to build awareness of your brand, not to buy followers. So that's never a recommended strategy. But in order to create that engagement or to, you know, have people follow you, is really just as simple as reaching out. You know, Instagram does a great job of, you know, making suggestions. You can connect with local businesses, you know, so like, we'll use an example. Let's say you're here in Surprise. You can connect with any local business that's on Instagram, you know, reach out to them. You know, that way you can make that, you know, like, hey, we're on Instagram too, you know, we're going to follow you. Would you mind following us back? You can just have that simple conversation. Other ones too, and this is where most businesses drop the ball, is they never tell clients. They might put a little badge or an icon on their website, but that's as far as it ever goes. Nobody ever tells anybody, hey, you know, we're on Instagram, or hey, check us out. We did some, you know, product features over here, or whatever it is that they do. They never tell anybody. They just assume that clients will naturally, you know, go there. Sometimes we need that extra push. So it would behoove you to, you know, you can put it on your receipts. You can just put a little sign at a counter if you're a retail store. You can post on other social media platforms and let them know that, hey, you know, we're also on Instagram, or hey, check out our recent post on Instagram. So really the earnest is on you to help spread the message yourself. But then again, you can come in here, and this is our personal. So I could come in here, you can see suggestions. So, you know, if I'm looking at this and I say, okay, let's see who this is, I can see it's followed by a handful of people. And if I'm digging what she has, I think this looks good, maybe I'll follow her. And then by virtue of that, you know, I can help promote my business that way as well. So engagement, we already more or less talked about that. Really, it comes down to, you know, the right posts. Again, puppies and babies sell everything. So if you really want to create some engagement, that's a great way to do it. But again, just being real. People on Instagram have a certain want, desire, or following. And so when they when they engage with posts, it's typically not stuff like this. This is not what they're looking for. Now, anytime food, one of my favorite hashtags is hashtag food porn. It is so funny to see some of these people and some of the amazing creations that they have. But food's another one. Food, puppy, and babies. Maybe I need to change out how I say it. But again, food's another great one. People love to see that. But again, it comes down to the dynamic visual. This is what's going to create engagement. Some of our best posts on ours have been features of our dogs. You know, we have 4 dachshunds. So for us, we love showing our dachshunds. They're our kids. We don't have kids, so we have dachshunds. So we feature those guys. Some of the features that we've done with local businesses, those have been some of the highest traffic posts that we've ever had. So really, you just got to kind of think outside the box and think to yourself, common sense, what's somebody going to connect with? Would you connect with that if you happen to see it or come across it? And if your answer is no, well, maybe you need to rethink it. So.
Great, those were good questions. I don't see any more questions, but if you wanted to show your information, and like I said, Chris will be sending me his presentation. So if you wanted, shoot me an email or you can go to our AZ TechCelerator Facebook page or website and contact us that way. Again, you can follow Chris on Instagram. Great information, right? No Boundaries Marketing.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, honestly, I tell every client, we're not here to sales pitch people. You know, if you have a legit question or an illegitimate question, I guess, but if you have any question whatsoever, just give us a call. You know, we'll walk you through it. Advice is free. You know, I consider myself fairly savvy with Instagram. My wife's even better. So, Jolene can walk you through anything. I can walk you through pretty much anything. Together, we can definitely help you with everything. So, you know, just reach out, ask the questions. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to serve to better your business and, you know, help you grow.
Great, and thank you. And we'll see Chris again tomorrow, same time, different WebEx address, but you can find the event on our Facebook page, on No Boundaries Marketing's Facebook page, or on the TechCelerator website, which is www.aztechcelerator.com. Tomorrow is all about getting ready for your holiday marketing. Also, next week will be a continuation Thursday of the social media for small business. And I believe you're focusing on Twitter next weekend or next week, correct?
Long lost art of Twitter.
Great.
It's funny. It kind of goes in waves and flows. Sometimes everybody's on Twitter. Then all of a sudden everybody falls off. Now all of a sudden everybody's back on Twitter. So we'll just teach you the basics of Twitter, how to use it, how to get the most out of it. Tomorrow's class is really honestly one of my favorites. I know I mentioned it last week, but holiday marketing is eye-opening when you really sit down and think about what we're saying and how to apply it to your business. I literally just had a surprise business. I'm not kidding. This week, I engaged with them and I said, this is what I want you to do. Come up with a game plan. And they followed my instructions based on the class. And now they have a Halloween themed post coming out, or Halloween contest, if you will, coming out. Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Christmas, and New Year's. And so, you know, that's kind of given them that, you know, push that they needed to really get to that next step. So I would encourage you, just engage tomorrow. It's a lot of fun.
Great. Well, thank you, Chris. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. And hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys.